Hey, Matt from MT. So this video is intended to be an overview of the product catalog, how to maintain that product catalog, how to add new products into it, where those products come from, how the connection to SAP works, etc. So the basic thing that's visible if you go to tools.clevertouch.com is the list of, it's going to be about 150 products that are relevant to Clever Touch um, resellers, really. The screens obviously being the fundamental thing, and then sound bars, trolleys, wall mounts, etc. It's meant to be a pretty exhaustive list of all products that are kind of tangentially related to the screens themselves or the actual screens. You can search through them in the fairly normal way. You can look at brands, you can look at technologies, you can do a keyword search. Obviously, you can click to move through to see the details, to see links to resources, descriptions, dimensions, weights, etc. All the usual kind of good stuff. So let's talk about how this product catalog gets built up and where it comes from. The first thing to understand, if we move to the CMS, everything is under the products tab. I'm not going to go into huge detail about some of these options because they're really quite niche and some of them are more or less a historic requirement. But let's talk about how products arrive in the first place. So the main option is the product manager, and this shows all currently active products visible on the website in its default setting. You can click show archive to show ones that are in the system but aren't visible. How they get there hasn't changed from how it was with Sahara AV, but I will repeat it here for the benefit of clarity and for new staff. If I move over to SAP for a second, so we're looking at the Roth soundbar 1050041. You'll notice that on the general tab, the first tab in SAP, there is a data feed option, which can either be yes or no. Um, when you add a brand new item into SAP and just provide the bare information such as its description, its product code, some of the other information such as dimensions, etc. If you change data feed to yes, that will cause it to be pushed through to CleverTouch Tools as a stub. And what I mean by a stub is it will be the basic information. It will only have the information that's in SAP, which isn't enough to really show it to the public and show it to resellers, but it does get it into the system. So if I go back to the product manager, you'll see the Roth soundbar is in here by virtue of the fact that it has been changed to data feed yes in SAP. And if we click edit, you will see that this is a number of tabs whose purpose is to build up all of the information that stub needs before it's worth including it on the website, showing it to the public, and indeed pushing all of that information into data feeds to everybody overnight. So the more complete this is, the better. You'll notice a few things can't be edited, and they say from SAP. That's because to change these, you have to correct them in SAP, and then it will be pushed through to this site. Most of them aren't like that, but many of the fields, where possible, do originate in SAP, so we don't end up with different versions of its dimensions, different versions of its weight, etc. Moving across briefly, you've got categories. So you just get to say what is the primary category of this product. Obviously, this being a sound bar, it's active speakers. You can show it in multiples just by ticking some other relevant categories and departments down here. Photos is straightforward. That lets you set all of the photos that are shown along with the product. Spec sheets, high-res images downloads are similar, and they all just let you provide links to external resources that are relevant to this product. Features is a bit more complicated. It lets you build up all of the tech specs of this product in a way that lets it become comparable with similar products. So they're not just a text form. It's not just a big blob of text that's copy and pasted into the product, because that doesn't have any utility. Instead, you have to say, this is its length, this is its weight, this is how many HDMI ports it has. And by doing it that way, you're actually allowed to compare similar products on similar features. Product links is at the bottom of a product. It can link out to similar products in an other products that may interest you section. That can be useful, especially if there's a new version of an older product. You can say at the bottom of the old product, there is a new version of this product, and put a link down at the bottom there. There's a log of who changed what, which can be useful for if any of the information seems to be becoming less accurate. You get to actually say who made that change and why, and check its origin. At any point, you can click the preview button, and that will take you to what the public sees, so you can confirm that you're getting closer as you work on that product. Um, and that's most of what you need to know in terms of creating a product onto the product catalog. Notice there is no pricing anymore and there is no stock anymore. So you'll see a few options here that still relate to stock, none that relate to pricing, I don't believe. Um, they're just ignored. They're left there just in case there's ever a U-turn on that decision. We need to reactivate some of that code. In brief, let's look at the other options on the products menu. We're already over 5 minutes, so I'll be super brief. Departments and categories is used for those search tools at the top to just obviously group together similar products. A department has categories, any number of categories exist within a department, and you get to build up that relationship and set the ordering of them. You can create new departments using the green buttons, or new categories creating the green button over there. Product features, this, as I touched on before, is where you get to build up the technical specifications of a product. I'm not going to get into that, it's kind of beyond the scope of this video. Product relationships is simply a list of what products to promote alongside another product. So let's say you set up a relationship between maybe one clever touch screen, maybe a value model, and all the other value models, and they can be displayed at the bottom of that product when you're looking at it. We're not going to touch on these two. Recover deleted products is what it sounds like. If a product gets marked as deleted, but really you wish that it had been pulled out of the archive and made visible again, this lets you search partially for its code and then reactivate it. Search synonyms are all to do with the keyword search and what word can be exchanged for another word when people are doing a search. And lastly, I don't think this is being used at the moment, but this was a useful tool historically where you could group an arbitrary collection of, say, all Epson printers, put it at a link such as /Epson, and share that link out to get a grouping of all similar products. And I think that's everything that we should say at this point. Support is available. It's a complicated area, but yeah, if you have any queries or questions or require any changes, let us know. Thanks. Bye.